Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for this is for the week of February 24th. You have this Prosperity Lies Ahead card and this Conclusions are within reach card. I feel like Capricorn has been working hard, so you could be getting results or better results financially, which is great. Could be a little bit of a breakthrough. I wouldn't really call it a breakthrough, but that's the only word that I have for it right now. So there could be like a little bit of a financial breakthrough for you at this time, which is great. And, could be like a big improvement financially with that 10 of Pentacles coming up. You have the 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Cups in your first row. I feel like I've been saying this to you for a while, but I definitely feel it's time for you to not play it safe. And that doesn't mean that you should be doing things dangerously. It just means that, I feel that there are bigger risks that you could take in work or business. And here you go, right here, the Fool. And I feel that those risks will really pay off for you. And again, we're not talking about stupid risk here. The risk with the Fool is looking foolish. So really, that's nothing. Really, it could mean that you need to take the risk to speak up at work or in business or ask your boss for a raise or, put yourself out there in some way, right? The Fool has to take the risk of people calling him foolish. And those are probably the types of risks you need to take. Putting yourself out there, getting attention at work or speaking up at work or business or your career, doing something like starting a YouTube channel, right? That's another way that you could look foolish. And so those types of risks will probably pay off the most. 4 of Pentacles is a little bit of a comfort zone. That's why I'm saying this. So the 4 of Pentacles says you have to leave a comfort zone. The other thing about the 4 of Pentacles is he's holding on to limitations. He has these 4 of Pentacles, but he's holding on too tightly to these 4 of Pentacles because it's kind of like he is saying, if I let go of this, there's no guarantee that the next thing that I work on or create is going to produce more. He's too worried about the future, but because he's holding on to those 4 Pentacles, he isn't opening himself up to the potential of 10 Pentacles. And so I feel it's time for you to let go of a safety net, right? And that safety net could be anything. It could be not asking for a raise or a promotion. It could be not looking for a new job or not trying harder in business, right? And so I feel that's what the reading is asking you to do because you have the 10 of Pentacles. I always say the 10 of Pentacles isn't something we just get. It's something we work on forever. 10 of Pentacles is building and leaving a legacy. But I would definitely encourage you to, work on creating your 10 of Pentacles, which is the, everything you want and desire in life. It forms the tree of life. And it really represents having it all. Now, as I always say, I don't think we ever truly all have it all. I don't think that's necessarily possible, but working towards it will definitely make your life better. You have the 4 of Cups. I feel you are coming off of all these disappointments. We've talked about it before. Having Pluto in your sign for so long, you've experienced a lot of disappointments. So now he's getting a new opportunity, but he's comparing it to his past opportunities, which he didn't want. And I feel it's time to realize that new opportunities that are coming in for you at this time are truly new. And these could be new ideas, could be new adventures that you could go on. And I feel like the 4 of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles are saying, try it out. With the 4 of Pentacles, you have the Magician. The Magician is a card of manifestation, of course, and it's also a card of reinvention. And I feel, that's what I would be doing if I were you here, Capricorn, is developing, a positive belief system. Don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. He has a snake right here. It's the Ouroboros. The Ouroboros represents reinvention. And so, if there's something you want to be, the Magician basically says, become it, whatever that is. If that is successful, there are certain things you can do. You can adopt the habits of success. You can adopt the mindset of success. You can start acting as if you already have the things you want. And I would be doing all of that if I were you. With the 10 of Pentacles, you have the 6 of Pentacles. It's like crumbs, it's is what I feel. It's saying, it's almost like this card is saying, right now you are accepting crumbs, even if you're doing well. I feel like the universe wants you to do even better. And, that I don't feel bad about this, but I also don't really feel good about it either. I feel it's saying that, right now you're accepting less than you deserve. And I feel that the universe is kind of challenging you to push yourself and try to get more. And that's what I would be doing with that card. With the Four of Cups, you have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, so we have a little bit of a Knight of Wands sandwich going on here with the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands says, what are you waiting for? The Three of Wands says you probably know what your next steps should be, and the Knight of Wands wants you to go on the adventure. So I would embrace adventure at this time as well, Capricorn. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Family and Heritage card. It says it's time to get in touch. It's time to get back in touch with your loved ones you have been away from. Really good time for family. A lot of people have been getting a lot of these family cards, so definitely a good thing to do. You have this Pisces card. It says boundaries. It says set and honor your boundaries to avoid being taken advantage of. Yes. Six of Pentacles, like, are you being taken advantage of? Are you accepting less than you deserve for something? Are you just accepting anything in your life, just in general? And the answer should be no, right? And I feel it's just that simple. I've worked, I used to work and I used to be a copywriter, and, I used to work with other people as well. And there were like so many people that I would work with that would just take any job, right? Like maybe their copywriting level was way up here, but they would take a job that was like way down here, right? Because they were afraid of when their next job would show up. And, it's really not helpful to them, right? So I feel that's basically what this is saying. Like, if you're just accepting anything in your life, then you're just going to get anything. But if you really focus on only accepting those quality kind of situations in all areas of your life, then that's what you're going to get. You're going to get quality. So I feel like the Pisces card is about boundaries. You have the King of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Three of Wands. The King of Swords is like knowledge and wisdom. You've definitely been gaining a lot of knowledge and wisdom. Back in 2016, we had Saturn in Capricorn, and Saturn in Capricorn is like profitable education. So I feel a lot of you have learned since that time. And now it's time to like use that knowledge, use the wisdom that you gained, or, turn that knowledge into wisdom. Knowledge into wisdom is the act of taking the things you've learned and putting them into practice. And I feel that's kind of what you need to do. We even have the Eight of Wands right here, which is action and movement. And so it's time to take what you know and like put it out into the world. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? We go from here, like the Six of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, down to the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands could be the adventure of finding something that's worth it financially. I really feel this is like a financial reading. It's talking about like the work that you do, or, whatever, even if you're retired, the work that you probably still do things during the day. And the Knight of Wands is about like searching for things that are more that you desire to do, and searching for things that are like more entertaining for you to do as well. You have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands says you are going to have to go places you've never been before to discover this. He has these boats on the ocean here. The boats on the Three of Wands, this card can represent your ships coming in, but really those boats are pointing out of the harbor. So he needs to get on the boats. Like, the true story of this card is that he needs to step into the unknown. He needs to go on an adventure and go places he's never been before to like discover his true potential. And I feel this reading is like a true potential reading. It's like saying you have a lot more potential. What you're holding on to is less with the Four of Pentacles. And so I want to challenge you, Capricorn, to kind of leave comfort zones, try new things, explore the world, explore new ideas, see what happens. With the King of Swords, you have the Moon card. Yeah, the Moon says there is going to be, this is like what you have to overcome, right? It's funny that you have this Pisces card and you also have the Moon. And it's also funny that Saturn is in Pisces, right? And so Saturn is your ruling planet. And the funny part about this is that Pisces also gets readings like this. It's almost like your journey, I feel, is split up into two parts. It's like you have this moon part like this, it's like this tiny little period of time. And then you have after the moon period, which is like the rest of your life. But you have to get through this to get to the good stuff. And the moon is just whenever we start something. We don't know what we're doing. We have to embrace mystery. We have to look into the secrets. And we also have to get over ourselves with the Moon card, because the Moon can say that you don't know what you're doing. But, anyone who started anything great, they have no clue what they're doing at first. They have to get through the Moon period. The Moon period is a short period of time where you just don't know. And the Moon comes up, the Moon goes down, the Sun comes up. So eventually you will have clarity. But, this is literally saying to get the clarity, you have to turn knowledge into wisdom. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Cups. I feel the energy has been weird for you. Like, Ace of Cups is your emotions overflowing, feeling really happy, feeling really good, and it's also endless energy. The Ace of Cups can reach down into the water below it and fill itself back up. I feel the weirdness here that I'm feeling is that it's like maybe you have been feeling lost, also with the Moon card as well, as in, it maybe like, let's say, like 6 years ago, you felt more, I don't want to say like motivated, but I feel you had bigger dreams. And right now, I feel you might be having a little bit of a hard time discovering or knowing what would cause you to overflow and make you happy. And so it seems to me like you're on a little bit of a journey where, like, I don't feel you're feeling lost necessarily, but just like a little bit lost, if that makes sense here, Capricorn, with that Ace of Cups. It's like you're trying to find fulfillment. With the Three of Wands, you have the Ten of Wands. I would be careful of creating obstacles for yourself, is what's popping into my head intuitively with the Ten of Wands. You know, I've done this as well. Like, I'm far from perfect, Capricorn. It's like sometimes I know that I have to work on a new project, and I will come up with every excuse in the book as to, like, why I can't. Like, I'll be like, oh, I have to go do the dishes, or, you know, I have to sweep the floor. Like, I'll go do other things that aren't important. And that's kind of what I'm feeling with the Ten of Wands. It's like, if you are putting things on your plate instead of getting started, then you're never going to get started, right? And I feel this is saying, like, the dishes can wait till later. You could take one step right now. You know, the Six of Pentacles, while, you know, I'm not like the biggest fan of the Six of Pentacles in this reading right here. I do like the Six of Pentacles, just not right here for whatever reason. And I read based off my feelings, so that's why. The Six of Pentacles also says you have to take the first step. The Moon says you have to take the first step towards something, and that's where the success will come from. Next, you have this Purity card, and you also have this New Beginning card. This is coming up in the area of messages from your future self, so definitely a new beginning. I feel like this Purity card is saying, like, you have to be messy. Nothing is going to be perfect. Again, I'm getting kind of like a different message than I normally do off of that Purity card. I'm going to show you this. On the Moon card, we have this dog and the wolf, or the dog and the coyote, whichever you prefer. Those two kind of represent needing to balance out your wild side and your domestic side. And, you know, this Purity card, I feel, is saying, like, if you are waiting for things to be perfect before you take action on whatever you're thinking about taking action on, that's never going to happen. It's like things are always messy. And I feel this is saying you have to allow the new beginning to be messy, because all new beginnings are messy, plain and simple. You have the Two of Swords, the Eight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. I feel like I'm always saying this to you, Capricorn, is like I feel like every single reading that you get the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is really saying, right now, you are thinking that something is going to go this way or that way. But really, it's going to go this way, over here. So I don't know if that's going to help you or not, because, you know, whatever you're thinking about starting here, you know, you have this idea of how things are going to turn out, but they're probably going to go a completely different direction. So you might as well just get started and figure out what that new direction is, right? You have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success or quick conclusion. Eight of Wands is also your focus, and focus seems to be very important for people right now. With the Eight of Wands, we have to focus in one direction. I always say with this card, we can't be pulling in two directions. You know, this card, all those wands are going one way. And so if we're saying, like, on one hand, if you're saying, I want to be successful, but you're also saying, I can't be successful, you're pulling in two directions, right? And this goes for all areas of your life. So I would work on your words. This is a card of communication. I would work on the words that you're using against yourself. I would work on the stories that you tell yourself. I would be careful of the stories that you feed yourself. Like, years ago, I stopped watching things and listening to things that made me feel bad, and I'm convinced it changed my life. It had a major effect on my levels of success when I stopped doing that. And, you know, the Eight of Wands is a really important card for making sure that you fill your head with good ideas and, you know, good words and good feelings. And if you do that, things will improve. You have the Knight of Wands. I do feel the Knight of Wands is encouraging you to be messy. The Knight of Wands is very spontaneous. He kind of just starts his journey because he's excited for the journey. That's it. He just has a desire to build something. I look at him as a true builder in the tarot, and he just gets started. and then he starts working from there. And if he doesn't know how to do something, or if he encounters an obstacle, he will build something to overcome the obstacle. He has that confidence, right? He isn't worried about this, that, or the other thing. He's just thinking, you know what, if I'm just going to get started, and if I have to, build something to overcome an obstacle, I'll build it. And he also has these pyramids here, which represent mystery. And so the pyramids tell him, like, hey, you might not have all the answers, but you can learn as you go. You can figure things out as you go on your journey. And that's what I would do if I were you. With the Two of Swords, you have the Lovers. Yeah, that could, as always, Capricorn. Like, I feel like you always get these readings where it's like, there's love here, but it's not really a love reading, right? So if you want love, sure, it's available to you, but you have to get started. I feel like you have to take the leap of faith and, take the risk. But, is this a major focus for you? Probably not. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Five of Swords. Yes, taking a risk for sure with the Fool card. Again, I think the thing about the Fool, really, that people need to understand is that there's a big risk that he could look like a fool for taking the leap of faith that he is about to take. But, he knows a lot more about himself than the people in his life that could potentially call him a fool. So, it's like about taking that risk. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Queen of Cups. Really, this reading is about following your heart as well. The Ace of Cups is your heart. The Queen of Cups follows her heart. Sure, people might call her crazy for taking a leap of faith or for, following her heart, but she knows more about herself, just like the Fool. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Lost card. It says, don't let past setbacks, Four of Cups, define your future. Stay focused on the positive outcome, Eight of Wands, as your thoughts and beliefs will directly affect your reality. Eight of Wands. I literally said that. So there you go. That Four of Cups is really kind of like going to be a thorn in your side. Four of Cups is you like having this new opportunity. You're dreaming of this new idea, but then also but you're also thinking like, oh, but all these other times in front of me that I tried to do something, it didn't work. And that's what you have to like get over, right? You have this research card. It says, before you make your next move, it's important to do some exploratory research so you know all the possible paths you can take. I would be actually careful of this. Number one, I would be exploring. Knight of Wands. So explore by doing. Don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. Seven of Pentacles is analysis paralysis. He's just looking at those pentacles and he's like, was it worth it or not? But really, he just needs to take his knowledge and start working on the next thing, right? And that's what I would do here. But it is coming up in the good stuff. You have the Fool, the Hermit, and the Two of Pentacles. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith. Now, the Fool is also about purity. He has this white rose right here. You have that purity card. And the white rose represents his pure intentions. He is doing things for the right reasons. So it doesn't matter how messy a new situation may be. Like maybe you want to start a new business, or maybe you want to get a different job, or maybe you want to make changes and move somewhere in your life. The Fool is about your intentions as well. And so as long as you have pure intentions, things will go well. You have the Hermit. Like, this is needing to realize that the learning phase is over, really. The Hermit has been through dark night of the soul. He's climbed to the top of the mountain, and now he's done. I always say, I feel, even though this is showing up in the good stuff, I feel that it's very, very tempting for people to stay in hermit mode. When you are at the top of the mountain, no one climbs to the top of the mountain. You are in isolation. There is a certain level of protection that he feels here because he doesn't have to face the cold, harsh reality of the real world, right? And so he's kind of like saying, you know what, I'm just going to stay here and I'm going to protect myself by doing nothing. But really, he's not. He's cheating himself out of living a good life by staying at the top of the mountain. Some people believe he's frozen at the top of the mountain. He has these ice-capped mountains underneath his feet. And even some books, like the Fearless Tarot, for example, in that book, the author says that he needs to put the lantern down by his feet to set himself free. And so, again, I feel that it is time to come out of isolation for you. It's showing up in the good stuff, which is good. It could absolutely say that you are taking those steps, but I feel it's time. And again, even the Fool, he has these ice-capped mountains behind him. So again, he also needs to set himself free. You have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles in the good stuff is like work hard, play hard. I do feel you are kind of doing a good mix of both. So I just feel average about that Two of Pentacles. With the Fool, you have the Five of Pentacles. Yep, there's something you have to take a leap of faith on that you're fearing. Like I said, Four of Pentacles. He is fearing that if he lets go of something, like he has something, those Four of Pentacles, but it's like very limited. And if he were to set himself free from those Four of Pentacles, there would be a period of time where he would feel lack because he had something that he let go of. And I feel that for you. It's coming up in the good stuff, so there's like nothing to worry about here. But I do feel that some of you could be fearing letting go of like something that you have, right? With the Hermit, you have the King of Cups. Yeah, again, if you want love, there definitely could be divine counterparts. I mean, Queen and King of Cups would be divine counterparts. Five of Pentacles with the Lovers could be fearing that if you enter into a connection, that a person is going to leave you out in the cold. But also with the Hermit, the Hermit can be putting yourself in hermit mode so that you don't get hurt. It's like, I hear all the time from people that are like, everybody does this or everybody does that in relationships. I'm like, no, that type of person that you chose does that. But it's like, don't cheat yourself out of the potential of something really good because you've been hurt, right? And I feel like that's what this is saying. With the Two of Pentacles, yes, you have the Page of Cups. So again, anytime I say that it's not a love reading, love always comes up. So, again, there could be like an admirer or a person that is coming in for you. But I feel like you have to be open to it. And, I would, because I feel it'll be good for you. You have this Dogs card. It says getting together with friends. I think it is an amazing time for socialization. All the readings I did for February had something about socializing. So there could be a lot of benefits from, hanging out with friends, socializing, getting out of hermit mode, all that other stuff. You have this candle. It says you will be shown the way. I would add, but you have to start, right? I think whenever we start something that is bigger than ourselves, we don't know. we don't know where we're going. And really, it's not until we kind of put in the effort that we get shown the way. So that's what I would encourage here. You have this Grasshopper. It says situation in the balance that requires careful handling. I feel this is like start-stop energy. Again, sometimes I think we kind of get started on a project. We put a little effort in, and then we stop. And then that actually stops the momentum. You have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is a very important card for momentum. I always say what changed my life is just, running 90-day experiments. Every 90 days, I work on something big in my life, because like 90 days is like a good amount of time to figure out if something's going to work or not. It's like not too much, it's not too little, and you can get a result in that amount of time. And so every 90 days I pick something, I make sure to do at least one thing per day that gets me closer to the goal that I have. And again, it really works really well. So, and it's also proving that I'm going to put in effort, right? That's the important part. Is instead of like what I used to do is I would like try a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I wouldn't like commit to anything for a long enough period of time. Ever since I did this, I get much better results because like I'm doing something every single day to move the project forward. And again, that's what I would do here. You have this Mountain card. It says major challenge to overcome. You have a lot of mountains in this reading, kind of. And so I feel, you are a Capricorn. You're used to climbing mountains, plain and simple. You have this Dark Man card. It says dealings with relationships with a man with dark complexion or hair. You have this Lightning card. It says control your anger. You will be sorry. Mars retrograde, even though Mars goes direct on the 23rd, and this is for the week of the 24th, we're in the shadow until May 30th. So I would make sure that you're not having any outbursts or anything like that, Capricorn. But this looks good. I like where this is going. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.